I'm Dustin Hirsch with the Grasshopper Company. I'm going to demonstrate adjusting and leveling a mowing deck on our 100 series. This particular model that you see here is our 127 with the 52-inch cut deck. In regards to leveling and adjusting the deck, on this particular model here, the deck is suspended by 4 chains, and of those 4 chains, 3 of them are going to have adjustments that you're going to be able to make while trying to not only level the deck but also set the pitch of the deck from front to back. Most of the time that you'll run into this scenario where you may have to do this type of adjustment is a customer calls you and says, hey, obviously they got a bad cut quality, or they'll definitely tell that the level of the deck is off. Typically, once the adjustments are made, really don't ever have to readjust those until, again, a customer tells you that you got a cut quality issue or problem in regards to the level of the deck. Right out of the gate, a few things to make sure of before any type of adjustment's done. Number 1 is tire pressure, making sure that the tire pressure is correct both on the rear drive tires but also on your front casters. At the rear of the machine, on our drive tires, each tire in the valve stem will have a decal. And just make note of the recommended pressure of what the tire should be. Also making sure, obviously, both tires have the same pressure. Because again, the deck is going to follow the pressure of the tires. Same follows true in regards to your front casters. When they're pneumatic tires you see here, we recommend somewhere between 12 and 15 pounds. Doesn't really matter, it's just kind of a preference, but make sure that both sides are the same. Once you're 100% sure your drive tires are good with the correct pressure and everything looks level in that respect, now we can go in there and make adjustments to the deck if need be. The first adjustment that you're going to do is the side-to-side adjustment. And with this particular model, the side-to-side adjustment is going to be done on the right rear hanger chain as you would be sitting on the machine. And what we're going to want to do is actually get a measurement from the left side of the deck and adjust the right side accordingly. Also make sure when you're doing this adjustment, have your cut height somewhere in the middle range of the cutting height of the deck. Don't go all the way up or all the way down. Pick something in the middle and adjust to it. And you can do that by your adjusting pin that you see here. And you can simply follow the pin location decal, pick a hole in the middle. Once you have that set, now we can get just a simple tape measure out. The other thing making sure of as well is that when you do these types of adjustments that you're on a good hard surface, not out in the field somewhere, but somewhere that you know that's a hard surface and also level. The measurements that you'll do with your tape measure is simply just go to the ground or the floor and measure up to the top of the deck shell and find your reference of height that you see there. And once you have that reference number, now we're going to go over to the discharge side of the deck. You may have to pull the discharge shield off. If it's on, you can go ahead and slide it off and lift it out of the way. Something also to make sure of and note is the condition of the blades, because again, that can affect your levelness in regards to just your quality of cut. So make sure that you don't have any bent blades. Go ahead and put a new set of blades on just to double check yourself. And also know that the blades themselves, when you're positioned, say left and right with the blades, that the blades are parallel with the deck shell itself on top. And that's why I just usually take this tape measure and measure the top of the deck shell because of that. So we have our reference number figured out over on the left-hand side. Now we can come over here on the right-hand side and again, get your point of reference there of your height to the top. And then if we're higher or lower, obviously that means we're going to need to make some adjustments. Like I mentioned before, with this 100 series, your side-to-side adjustment is going to be done off of the left hanger chain that you see here as you're sitting on the left rear hanger chain. You see here. Obviously it's pretty confined space-wise to get to, which will require you to remove the fender to get better access to it. For the sake of speed-wise, we kind of back the bolts out, but you can go ahead and remove the fender. There's 3 bolts. You got one in the front, one in the back, and then one here on top in the center. You don't have to completely remove this bolt because it's an open slotted hole in the fender. Here we can lift the fender up out of the way. This particular model has a headlight in it, but you can leave it plugged in. The cable's long enough to allow you to rest the fender on the rear of the tire. But here's where you'll see our adjustments, our adjusting screw. This pivot bracket and this guide are in a slotted hole for your carriage bolt or your hanger bolt to go through. What you'll have to do is actually loosen this bolt to your pivot plate or bracket. Two different sizes of wrenches. You'll be a 5/8 here on the front, and then down here on the inside is going to be for 11/16. Go ahead and loosen this bolt. That will then kind of loosen the clamp of the bolt to the bracket, and now we can make the adjustment here on your adjusting bolt. Come in here and loosen your lock nut, and then either tighten or loosen this bolt. Again, if we're going to try to raise this side up, we're going to want to screw the bolt, the adjusting bolt down, and that will then pull up on this chain, and you'll make that adjustment to where now both sides match from right to left. Once you have your dimension set and secure, now we can go in here and tighten things back the way they were before. That's the side-to-side adjustment. Now there's one more adjustment that you'll still want to make sure and double check. We want the front of the deck lower than the back. And the way we're going to make that adjustment is now on the front two hangers. It's the same type of setup like you did with the side-to-side. Same configuration of chain and bolts and adjusting bolt, but you will have one on each side there in the front. This is where you're going to adjust the pitch of the deck, making sure it's lower in the front. Ideally, we want somewhere between 1/8 to 1/4 inch pitch of the deck, with it being higher in the back. Partly due because when that blade is swinging around and spinning in 360 degrees, we only want the front of the blade cutting the grass. And that's the way you achieve that, by giving it more pitch in the back. Ideally, again, 1/8 to 1/4 inch pitch will give you the proper pitch from front to back. Once those adjustments are made, go ahead and just go out there and do another quality cut down and back. Check and make sure everything stays level and your cut quality still looks good, and you're good to go.